All right. Good morning, folks. My name is Hitzemann, County Court Judge here in Hernando County. You folks are here for your first appearance. Purpose of the first appearance is so that you may be informed of the charges against you. I will determine if there's probable cause for those charges. Probable cause simply means that it's more likely than not that a crime has occurred, and more likely than not that you're the person who has committed that crime. As you stand before me today, of course, I presume that you're innocent. That presumption of innocence will stay with you through every stage of the proceedings unless and until the charges against you can be proven by the State Attorney's Office beyond and to the exclusion of a reasonable doubt. I will set your conditions of pretrial release, that is your bail or your bond. In most cases, you've had a bond set already pursuant to the bond schedule here in the 5th Judicial Circuit or the warrant which led to your arrest. I will determine if that bond should be raised or lowered or left the same, or whether there'll be additional conditions of pretrial release placed upon you. We'll let you know when your next court date will be. If you'd like to have the services of the public defender, I'll gladly appoint the PD to represent you this morning. You do have a right to have contact with folks on the outside, family, friends, counsel. If you haven't had a chance to make that call, please let me know. We'll make sure that that happens. Finally, and most importantly, you're advised that you do have an absolute right to remain silent with regard to the facts which surround your arrest. I encourage you to do that. These proceedings are recorded. In addition, there is an assistant state attorney in the courtroom with me. Say something that tends to incriminate you, they will use it against you in the prosecution down the road. I now need each and every one of you there at the jail to please raise your right hands and be sworn. Y'all solemnly swear affirm, tell truth, whole truth, none but the truth. Outstanding. When I call your name, please step forward to the podium. John Young.
Judge, may we approach him, Mr. Young?
Sure.
Judge, I am not his attorney on this case. I am his attorney on the DUI charge.
Oh, the open case.
Yes. He needs to be evaluated. I filed that motion. He would not meet with Dr. Burston or could not meet with him. Doesn't say why. So I think court can have him evaluated, or anybody can move to have him evaluated. I've already done that motion in misdemeanor court. I'm not his attorney today. I don't think he has any.
Is that motion pending? Or did
that motion is pending, and it was granted.
Okay.
He just didn't. He was not in custody. He just didn't. He never met with Dr. Burston. He said, I won't say what he said, but he didn't meet with him.
Well, obviously I'm in a position to RCO him, and then we'll know.
Oh yeah, I'm fully aware of that's going on. Okay,
so
just wanted
to be requesting anyway.
I was just trying to speed that up.
Well, I think that's the fastest way.
That's
the fastest way.
Right.
If I let him out, then he's going to be in the.
Oh no. Right, that was never mine. Right.
Okay.
I was just hoping we could get that done now, but that's fine.
Well, yeah, the jail's not going to be much help. I don't know how the PD's office gets Burston out there to evaluate him.
I'll call him. I got Dr. Burston because I got him appointed, and it says that taxpayers, he doesn't.
Yeah, we're going to pay for it. I knew we did that.
Right, so he should.
Yeah, you call him and tell him he's ready to go.
I know.
Perfect.
Attorney of record for today's purpose.
Okay, very good. John, what's your date of birth?
12/6/62, sir.
All right, John, we got two charges this morning. I've got a retail theft and a possession of paraphernalia. There's probable cause for those charges. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself, you want to hire private counsel, or you like the public defender?
Your Honor, may I ask you a question?
You can ask any question you wish.
Sir, I was in a wheelchair last night, and I approached that door, and there was no one there to help me. I had my wallet 40 feet in the car outside the door. I looked around. I tried to get into the area where you paid for yourself in the thing, and no one would help me. There was no one there. It was late. All I did was roll out to my truck and was coming back with my wallet, and I was going to pay. It was only $20.
John, as I said earlier, I presume you're innocent of the charges.
Right.
All that we've done this morning is determine that there's probable cause, and that's why I made those remarks earlier. Probable cause means, and you can, I'm sure, agree with me that based on what the facts that I saw this morning are, that there certainly are people who could think that your intention was to steal. That may not be the case, but the state attorney's office will have to prove all that. So all I'm going to do is see if you want a lawyer. I know you've got Mr. Alls on another case. If you're going to try to hire him, or if you'd like me to appoint the public defender, or what you'd like me to do.
Your Honor, I respectfully would ask, Your Honor, that you ROR me, because I have to get home. I have edema in my leg severely. I need to get to the hospital. I'm not going anywhere.
Okay, well, we're gonna get to that bad news in a second. The first question I've asked is whether you intend to try to hire Mr. Alls on this case, or if you would like me to appoint the public defender.
I would like a public defender, please.
I'm going to appoint the public defender.
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, as to your bond, unfortunately, obviously, you have an open case right now, a pending DUI, I believe. Do you have a case number?
Yes, sir. I have a date on the 20th for that. Coming up this week. I'd like to be able to attend it in a suit, you know.
What was it again?
I'm sorry, 16 MM 4016.
Right. When's it coming back?
Okay, it's set to come back on actually Friday for motion hearing.
I wonder if that's the motion.
My notes show that it is, Your Honor.
What's that?
My notes show that it is for that motion.
Yes. Yes, parent and
Okay. All right.
Your Honor, I don't understand the motion hearing.
Okay. Well, that's an issue you should have to discuss with your attorney. Here's what's going to happen now, and please just listen, okay, and don't interrupt.
Yes, sir.
Let me finish, and then I'll tell you what's going to happen. On this case, I'm going to set the bonds at $500 on each count. That's a total of $1,000, and I'm going to move this case to Friday morning, which is the 20th of October, because that's where your other case is already set to be heard. Unfortunately, job number one for you when you were out on pretrial release on a pending criminal charge is don't pick up new criminal charges. It appears to me that you have. Therefore, pursuant to Florida Statute 903.0471, I'm going to revoke your pretrial release in 16 MM 4016. We're going to hold you without bond at least until Friday when you're going to be in front of Judge Rupi. And if she wants to revisit the bond issue on that day, she certainly can do that. But you're going to stay right where you're at until Friday. When she'll have a chance to see that you've got these new charges and also to deal with whatever that motion is, okay?
Sir, that warrant from Citrus was because I was following Judge Rupi's order at being at another predetermined date.
Okay. John, I don't have anything else to say to you. Public defender will probably come see you, and definitely you'll be speaking to Mr. Alls later this week, okay? Thank you. Jacqueline Gabrielle. Want to miss what's your date of birth?
1789.
All right, ma'am, you're here on a warrant that was signed by Judge Toner. He found probable cause for 2 counts of uttering forged checks. As to those charges, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the PD. State. What can you tell me?
I'm showing a prior FTA in 2016. It looked like that was from possession of paraphernalia charge. I'm not showing a disposition on the actual charge there. Petty theft in 2017 and a violation of probation in 2017 as well. Prior to that, I do not see anything else.
Okay. Jacqueline, I don't have an address for you. Where have you been staying lately?
9926 Lake Drive.
Okay. And do you have a job these days?
No.
I'll set your bond at $1,000 on each charge. The total is $2,000. I'll have you back in court on the 14th of November. If you get out, it's very important that you go see the public defender. Otherwise, they'll come see you at the jail before your court date, okay?
Okay, is there any way that we can solve this with probation today?
Not today. Unfortunately, Jacqueline, these are felony charges, so I can't resolve them for you at first appearance. You have to get in front of the judge on the 14th, all right?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Celeste Munoz. What is Celeste? What's your date of birth?
June 6, 1979.
Celeste, you are here on a warrant that was signed by Judge Rupi. Apparently you failed to appear in her court back in July on a charge of petty theft. Did you have a lawyer on that case?
No.
Would you like the public defender?
Yes.
I'll appoint the PD. State.
Your Honor, there's history. Before I go into there, there's also an offer. If she'd
Oh,
like to
okay.
do that
What's
today.
the offer?
It looks like she's coming up pretty close to about 30 days, so it would be time served. There is restitution that would be owed to Hobby Lobby in the amount of $159.99, and I have an order prepared if she'd like to do that today.
Okay. How long has she been in jail?
She, between here and Pasco, it
Okay.
looks about close to 30 days, and I checked, and it looks like she was getting credit on these charges while it was there.
Okay. And then what would the restitution be?
The restitution, $159.99, and it's to Hobby Lobby.
Okay. So Celeste, you want to take time served?
Yes, please.
All right. You understand by entering a plea today, you give up the right to have a trial by jury, the right to confront the witnesses against you, the right to remain silent, right to have a lawyer represent you, but you're willing to give up those rights so we can resolve your case today.
Yes.
Case number 16MM4078 as to the charge of petty theft. How do you wish to plead? You can plead no contest.
Yes.
I'll accept that plea, find it's freely and voluntarily made. I'll adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 30 days in the county jail, credit 30 days served. There'll be a fine and court cost of $620, restitution to Hobby Lobby of $159.99. Pardon me, I will not order costs of incarceration because you did the time mostly out of county. Also will unappoint the public defender, so you don't have to pay that fee. If there's nothing else keeping you in the jail, Celeste, you will be released today, all right?
Your Honor, there may or may not be something from Pasco still pending. I
Okay.
can't confirm
Yeah,
that.
if there's something still pending, you'll have to deal with that. If there's nothing pending, then you'll be released, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. Good luck. Brittany White. Morning, Miss White. What's your date of birth?
7786.
All right. And Brittany, you're here on a warrant for failing to appear in my courtroom last month on a notice to appear on a BOP. And Miss Newby, what's the rec?
Recommendation is 30 days.
All right. So, Brittany, the recommendation from probation is 30 days in the county jail. You can take that this morning if you wish. If you'd rather speak to an attorney first, you can certainly do that. What would you like to do?
I was wondering if everything's done on my probation except I just have to make the payment.
Okay.
Like, just making my payment. I was hoping to just make my payment.
Okay, well, that's not something I can do for you today. That's why I say if you want to talk to a lawyer about it, we can appoint a public defender who can get out there and speak to you and hopefully get it resolved prior to the next court date. But that's all I can do for you. Or you can take the 30 days.
There's no bond?
No, there's not going to be a bond.
Okay.
Okay, what's your choice, Brittany?
Speak to a public defender?
I'll appoint the public defender. Bond on the warrant is going to stay no bond. I'm going to set you for the Gail. Do I have an arraignment before? I must have one maybe on the 1st of November.
Yes, you do.
Okay. I'm going to set you, Brittany, for the 1st of November. The PD will get out there as quick as they can, and so if we can get your case resolved before that, if there's some way we can get it resolved before that, they can get you back in front of me very quickly. So the PD will come see you, but at the worst, you'll be back on the 1st of November, all right?
Okay.
Thank you. Ronald Frank. Morning, sir. What's your date of birth?
5/17/79.
Mr. French, the charge is battery being domestic in nature. There's probable cause for that charge. As to that charge, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the PD. State.
Your Honor, this, I'm showing that it is a sex offender registration, so the state would be requesting a GPS for any type of release. It looks like all the underlying charges are out of state. I believe it is Michigan. I'm showing nothing in Florida. Aside from the charges that put him on the registration, Your Honor, I'm showing 2015 there's an assault It's listed as a misdemeanor for that state. I'm showing a 2015. It shows assault or battery is the way it's listed here. It shows a conviction. There's also 2015. It's interfering with electronic communication conviction, and the one I just mentioned, the assault and or battery one, it also indicates that that's a domestic as well. And all those were from 2015 out of Michigan. Yes, sir.
And Ronald, I have an address for you on County Road 437 in Eustis. Is that where you live?
No, my address is 7039 Hilton Drive.
Okay, how long have you been on Hilton Drive?
Since I've moved down here, 437 is my address for my employer.
Okay. How long have you been on Hilton Drive? I don't know when you moved down here.
November?
Okay. Do you have a job these days?
Yes.
What do you do?
Truck driver.
Set your bond at $1,000. Condition of the bond is that you'll have no contact with Nicole French. No contact means no contact of any kind. You don't call, you don't write, you don't email, you don't text message, you don't contact her through any social media. You don't have any third person contact her. You don't go where she lives, you don't go where she works. You don't have any contact of any kind. Any way that you might imagine contacting her, I forbid you to do that. If you have contact and we find out about it, your bond can be revoked, and you can be held without bond until the charges are resolved. It means no contact even if she wants the contact. So if you answer your phone and hear her voice, you should hang up. If you're out and about and see her, you should turn around and run the other way. You need to understand that she cannot drop the charges against you. That's not a decision she gets to make. She may go to the state attorney's office and ask them to drop the charges. She may tell them she's not interested in pursuing this matter. But that decision belongs solely to the assistant state attorney who's handling your case. So unless that person or the judge on your case tells you the charges are dropped, you should assume they are not dropped, and you should not have contact. In addition, I've got to hold you at the jail today up until 4 p.m. So that if she wanted to serve you with a civil injunction for protection against domestic violence, we'd know where to find you. If you get the civil injunction, it's doubly important that you not have contact, because in that case, not only could you get your bond revoked here, but you could get new charges for violating the injunction. In addition, because of your status, I'll order that if you are released, you'll be subject to GPS monitoring at your expense. As far as the address on Hilton Drive goes, if you're released, obviously you'll have to stay someplace else as long as Nicole is staying there. You can go by one time to grab your clothes, your toothbrush, whatever you need for wherever you plan to go. To do that, however, you must contact the sheriff's office first. They would meet you there with a deputy who would stand by while you got your things and got going where you're going. I'm going to have you back in court on the 8th of November. Very important that you go see the public defender if you get out. If you can't get out, they'll come see you at the jail, all right?
Is there any chance of getting a PR? Because I got nobody down here. I'm from Michigan. Got no money. I got nothing. If I don't get out and get to work, then everybody in my house is going to be thrown out too.
Okay. There isn't anything going to be different than what I just did. Thank you.
So just thanks.
Yep. Michael Giovanazzi. Morning, sir. What's your date of birth?
7/17/1984, sir.
All right. Michael, I have two warrants this morning. The first warrant is one signed by Judge Toner. Apparently, you failed to appear in his court last month on 4 charges: driving on a suspended license, possession of marijuana, possession of paraphernalia, and possession of controlled substance. There is a second warrant that was signed by me. I found probable cause for 2 charges: fraudulent use of a credit card and criminal use of personal identification. As to those charges, you're going to represent yourself, you're going to hire private counsel, or would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'm going to appoint the public defender. The bonds that Judge Toner set on his warrant are all no bond. I can't change those. So on those cases, we'll send you back to see him on November 14th. I'm going to leave then the bonds on the warrant to where they are, which is $2,000 on each count, but obviously because of the no bond on the FTA, you're not going to be able to get out. I'll send those charges also to the 14th. So everything's coming back on the 14th, and the public defender will come see you before then, all right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Oh, 11, yeah, I'm sorry. It'll be, he got a date before the 20th.
I'm showing November 6th.
Okay, let's send it there. All right, so I'm going to move Mr. Giovinazzi to the 6th of November. Michael Morengi. Morning, Michael. What's your date of birth?
11/1991.
Michael, you were here on a warrant. The judge assigned the warrant, found probable cause for a violation of community control. As to that charge, you have to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the PD. Bond on the warrant, of course, is no bond. I'll send you back to court on the 14th of November. Public defender will come see you before that, okay?
Thanks, sir.
Thank you. Andrew Niederhelman. Morning, Andrew. What's your date of birth?
September 8th, 1986.
Andrew, I have two charges this morning. I have a battery being domestic in nature and a criminal mischief. There's probable cause for those charges. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself. You want to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender,
I'll
please.
appoint the PD. State.
No reportable history I'm seeing, Your Honor.
All right. And Andrew, I had an address for you on Arvin Drive in Brooksville. Is that where you were staying?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And is that were you living there with Cassandra?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have a job these days?
No, I've been going to school.
Okay. On the battery, I'm going to set a bond of $500. On the criminal mischief, I'll release you on your own recognizance, so your total is $500. Condition of the bond is that you have no contact with Cassandra. Did you hear me explain no contact earlier?
Yes, sir.
And you understood that?
Yes.
Okay. Also, unfortunately, we have to hold you up until 4 o'clock so that if she wanted to serve you with an injunction, we'd know where to find you. And if you have anything left at that Arvin Drive address, you can go by one time to pick those things up. But you need to contact the sheriff's office before you do that, okay?
Yes, sir.
I'll have you back in court on the 8th of November. Make sure you go see the PD when you get out, okay?
Okay, thank you.
William Roach. Morning, Mr. Roach. What's your date of birth?
3/15 of 80.
All right, Mr. Roach, we have a warrant for you out of the great state of Michigan. Your options here this morning are this. You're entitled to have an extradition hearing if you wish. The point of an extradition hearing would be to determine if you're the right William Roach and if the state of Michigan actually has a warrant for your arrest. If we're able to determine that, then of course you would be extradited to the state of Michigan. That process can take up to 60 days, and while you're waiting for that to happen, you'd wait right there in the jail here in Hernando County. You can waive your right to that hearing if you wish. If you waive your right this morning, the state of Michigan will be notified immediately and told that they have 15 days to make arrangements to come get you. 15 days from now, if you are still here, They'll bring you back to see me. If the state of Michigan has made immediate arrangements to pick you up, then we'll let them pick you up. If they hadn't made any arrangements to pick you up after 15 days, then you would be released. So your choice for me this morning is, would you like to have an extradition hearing, or are you willing to waive that right and put Michigan on the clock right now? You have a
I'll
question
waive that.
for me?
I'll waive that right.
Oh,
I'd like to return home.
Okay, so that's what we'll do, William. We're going to just go ahead and sign the waiver. Michigan is going to be teletyped immediately, told they have 15 days to come get you. If you're still here in 15 days, you're going to come back and see me, and we'll find out what's going on then, okay?
All right.
All right, good luck. Eric Quos Rodriguez. Morning, Eric. What's your date of birth?
May 11, 95.
All right, Eric, you're here on a charge of battery being domestic in nature. There's probable cause for that charge. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You want to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll point the PD state.
Yeah, I've seen several arrests. No actual conviction history. However, he does have 2 open cases. One of which is a battery, open battery, with the same victim as the alleged victim in this case. That case number is 17MM3581. He also has an open felony case in front of Judge Merritt. That's 17CF955. So we requested an RCO on both of those cases based on this new arrest.
You got return date on the misdemeanor?
The misdemeanor return date, Your Honor, that is actually in front of you, and it'll be 11/1.
Okay.
And the return date for Judge Merritt is 11/3.
Okay. Okay. So, Eric, what we'll do in this case is I'm going to set the bond at $1,000. Condition of the bond is that you will not call or write Ariana Tyler from the jail. So no calling or writing her in any way from the jail. I'll move that case to the 1st of November. And then pursuant to Florida Statute 903.0471, I'm going to revoke your pretrial release in 17 MM3581. We'll hold you without bond on that case, which is also coming back on the 1st of November. I'm also going to revoke your pretrial release in 17 CF955. So you'll be without bond on that case until the 3rd of November. On the 1st, you'll be in front of me on both of these misdemeanors, and we'll see if we can get them resolved. On the 3rd, you'll be back in front of Judge Merritt, and then he can reconsider your bond at that point if he wishes, all right?
Thank you.
Thank you. And then apparently Thomas Beasley is in the hospital. Is that right, Jim?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Because he was here at first appearance yesterday, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. He has 2 charges today. They're both dealings. In each case, I will find probable cause. In each case, I'll appoint a public defender. And in each case, I'll set a bond of $2,000. And then we'll have these back on the 14th of November, which is, I'm pretty sure, where we set his other case.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Yep. You too.